No one has been charged, but today a man connected to the case appeared in court.
You know, I've talked to him. He wants a bond. He wants to get out. He wants to clear his name.
Does Cameron Joshua know who shot Takeoff?
We will discuss that with the DA's office if we decide to.
But in those cases, he's not suspected of being a shooter in the case. These are allegations that he possessed a firearm. And in each of those cases, we're dealing strictly with the issue of possessing a weapon, not actually, using it and shooting something.
What's good, RIZZLE fam? Lil Cam recently appeared in front of a judge, and it looks like we might see some snitching happening soon. So Cameron Joshua, better known to the world by his nickname Lil Cam, or the guy in the yellow hoodie, is currently facing weapon charges and showed up to his hearing in court. As you know very well, Lil Cam is connected to the shooting that took Takeoff's life. That's the reason why all eyes are on this case right now, because it might lead to some new light in regards to resolving Takeoff's murder. Lil Cam got in trouble due to footage of him holding a gun, even though he shouldn't have been since he's a felon. But it's not the footage that got him in trouble. No. There's also a witness from that night of the incident who talked to the Popos about seeing Lil Cam holding that pistol.
So the reason why the dude is locked up, clearly somebody from that night that the cops pulled in wrote a statement and signed it to say, I saw the guy in the yellow hoodie with a gun that night.
See, the witness claimed that he or she saw the guy in the yellow hoodie carrying a gun. Given that the guy in the yellow hoodie was in fact Lil Cam and that he had a gun on him, immediately makes him a target and a suspect. That counts as a violation of his parole, regardless of whether or not he was actually using the thing. What matters is that he had it on him. A guy from his legal team said why exactly Lil Cam had a hearing. This is what he said.
Cameron Joshua has been charged with 2 counts of carrying a weapon, and it has only tangential relationship to this shooting involving Takeoff. He's not being charged with the shooting.
As you could hear from his representative, Lil Cam is not really in for the shooting of Takeoff. However, you also cannot deny the fact that he's directly connected to what happened that night. But since he's not in for homicide, you might be thinking, is that really enough to lock a man up and keep him in there like that? The answer to that question is yes. Lil Cam actually had previously uncleared charges to his name. This was not his first violation. He had 2 charges that he was out on bail for. This time around, he had to be locked up and denied bond as well. Plus, there are 2 other reasons that the police didn't want him out walking the streets. First, they're afraid of the possibility of witness intimidation or suppression. Just like the notorious case of YSL members Young Thug and Gunna, who've been locked up because of RICO charges. In the case of Lil Cam, there's a chance that he not only know the witnesses, but is willing to go as far as threatening them to keep their mouths shut if police comes knocking on their doors. Secondly, there's also a chance of Lil Cam just fleeing and being constantly on the go, and they don't want that, especially since he's tied to Takeoff and his murder. What if they find new evidence in the future that proves he actually was the one who took out Take? They'd rather have him in custody than rather go out searching halfway across the country for him. If they already have the option to keep him in as the evidence slowly stacks higher, then they're gonna take it. That's exactly what they're doing right now by keeping Lil Cam in jail. As you can imagine, Lil Cam's legal team obviously denied that Lil Cam shot Take that night. Matter of fact, they claim that he's innocent and that he didn't get involved in any shooting at all. They can play that card now since there's no evidence of Lil Cam firing a gun. There's only evidence of him holding that gun. Those are 2 very different things. But there's also another very interesting thing that was said by Lil Cam's lawyer right after the court hearing took place. Just listen to this interview and pay close attention to what this lawyer is saying about Lil Cam's involvement. The man was asked if Lil Cam knows who actually shot Takeoff, and to that question, the lawyer replied,
We will discuss that with the DA's office if we decide to. Right now, we're charged with offenses and we're not saying anything.
What do you mean if you decide to?
Well, everybody has the opportunity to discuss those matters if they choose to.
We don't know what you make of it, but sounds to us like Lil Cam and his lawyers are ready to make a deal with the DA if it comes to it. If somehow the investigation proves that Lil Cam actually wasn't the one who got Take and it was somebody else, Lil Cam is ready to snitch in order to clear his name. Now, you can say what you want about Lil Cam, but his lawyers just chose the worst words possible to say to journalists. This might come back to haunt him one day. In the end, Lil Cam has his bond hearing next week. People on the internet believe that the bond will be denied, and they also think that more charges are going to be thrown at his name as well. One fan on the internet wrote, "This is becoming more interesting. That prosecutor sounds like he's not satisfied with just gun charges. Thank you for another one to keep an eye on. Justice for Takeoff." But what y'all think this means for Lil Cam? Is he in trouble, or you think his lawyers are doing a good job? Let us know what you think all about it in the comment section below. Be sure to check out this next one if you dug this video. Click that like and subscribe button. As always, remember to keep it RIZZLE.